wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, he's got some breathing room. It's so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Leads to second and goal.
Trying to run this one in. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Quick throw complete into the flat out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 3 yards out. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start first and 10. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down.
22-yard line. 2 yards on the pick.
Here's second and 8. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
Intercepted by the Bills.
First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now a handoff looking right. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a second and 14. A handoff as they run the counter play. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to look that one in one-handed. What a catch for the touchdown. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
first down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. Right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 22 yards there, a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 29-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early, and that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. That's out to the left, flat and complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
They'll look look to throw again. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up fourth. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Dan Bailey on for the field goal. A 55-yard attempt.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put...
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
The kick is...
And he's got it up and through.
Makes the score Bills 21, Dolphins nothing.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Now this will make it into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
1-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. He sets to fire deep. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And that will be incomplete.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about when they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They're going to try and throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off down near the 5. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Now they try the right side here. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, a man who started his career here in Miami, Ted Ginn Jr. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
And 10 yards to go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to let it go again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 28. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
The point after.
Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And over the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. That's out to the left and complete. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Could have gone with a ground game there. Opted for the quick pass. Well, I don't know that it would have mattered, Charles, but it didn't work out.
In a lot of these offenses, yards after catch are built in without explicitly saying it. In this case, he didn't make anyone miss out on the perimeter. Got tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
And brings up 4th down. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And this is going to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
39-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. This is intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row, we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they will play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a pass hauled in downfield. The 30. Oh, 10, you got to feel it, man. All the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Our PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
He'll get this into the hands of Breida. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
That's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. This is caught for a Bills touchdown. from 17 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 37. And the return will stop right around the 25. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot.
So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They're going to look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, 1st down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 36 yards on the play.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
This one into the hands of Ginn out wide. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And the Dolphins are going to get a fresh set of downs. Back to throw now on 1st down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be a third and about 13. Left side, and it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete here. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it 4th down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are in for 6. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score defensively. How do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it, having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
Houston, and Baltimore. So you can play with them teams right there.
You ain't touching that.
I got Jackson. I got Jackson playing props. I got Carpoon, and I like Big Ben. They're my 3 player props.
Are you
take one out of there?
Are you messing with that Pittsburgh game, though, huh?
Who?
The Steelers game. You ain't messing with that, huh?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I called them last. I got Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Colts got both of their tackles out.
Huh?
The Colts got both of their starting tackles out.
Now following the sack,
exactly.
to make amends.
So they get defense a little time. They trying my dog. They talking about my dog can't throw long and he ain't finna throw this, he ain't finna do that. But Big Ben coming off a 3-win loss and Big Ben know y'all done learned them. So Big Ben is trying to come out doing some different shit today.
Yeah, they ain't losing 3 in a row.
They ain't losing. That motherfucker nigga going the fuck gonna say, yeah man, I like don't say, you know, everybody like the coach, boy. Coach fuck them people up, but boy, hey man, I like Big Ben. You understand me? 3 losses. Man, they talk about my dog, they ain't finna get, man, that nigga finna throw some 300 today. Give me Carpoon, that's his boy.
I'm not sure what the ground is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination.
I made a little 14.
I popped yesterday, though.
Huh?
I popped yesterday.
Yeah, man, I put too much shit on my shit, man. I put too much shit, man. I don't know.
I only had like 14 on. I only had like 14 on there. I put like 40 on that. I took the Bucks. I took Liberty, I took Georgia State, and I took.
Everybody took Liberty. I fucked up. I'm supposed to take Liberty too.
I took Liberty nice, and they were supposed to play in the regular season, but their game got canceled. But Liberty nice though.
Liberty nice. Yeah, Liberty nice the whole season. I like Liberty. But I just like the Coastal Carolina. Just, them boys went overtime on me. Fuck me up. Damn. Look at these bitty great team back. That's the Coastal Carolina I know. But hey, the boy kicked that field goal and that was big.
Nothing but pressure in his face.
That was big. That shit beat the shit out of them people, dog. That shit got it. Damn. I know Liberty was good, but I ain't know Liberty. That's better than BYU.
That damn quarterback.
He's gonna float this one deep.
Yeah, man, that's what I said. Dog. That shit damn fool. I ain't see because I ain't watched Liberty play since they first 4-5 games. I just started watching Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty done beat, who they beat? I think they beat Virginia Tech. They done beat NC State.
Maybe can expect
passes like that. They got the same straight schedule. That's why I like Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina had a little straight schedule too.
36. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reasons to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, that means talk about
I was just getting that with you. I'm gonna take it with you later.
When you back home?
Nah, I'm back up in Gainesville. You know we got the bowl games, so we leave.
You back home? Y'all play Monday.
Yeah, we fly out tomorrow, so I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna be out there tomorrow in Texas. I'll be back there. I'll be back home after the game. We got like 2 weeks off.
Alright,
I got you.
in all the rest of their games.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Escaping the pressure right. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 22. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bills turn that interception into a touchdown. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. That catch good for only a couple.
At the Dolphins' 19-yard line.
It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the Bills are going to have a first and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line. Now back to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
20-yard line.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That'll be complete to Breida. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and
running out of the gun here, Breida. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Right past the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. On play action, they'll throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Taken down. Right.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 1st down marker at the 11. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards. And now a decision here on 4th and 1.
It's 4th down.
They'll try and run for it. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Dan Bailey set to kick off.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waiting moments of this one. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Brings up third down and 10.
And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete.
Keep going, keep running.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken about 7 yards deep.
Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself. You still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big. Each instance, they asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And then they looked at me and said, just to do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From South Florida, good night, everybody.
It's just those teams you don't really respect sometimes, because that had to be, for me, the most disappointing performance of the season, what the Rams did and everything they had on the line against the New York Jets at home, and still go out and lose that game, because Everything's there, and the teams and the coaches. I'm talking about you, McVay. All right, Pete Carroll knows this. How you want your team playing going into the end of the year. The Seahawks have it figured out. The Rams are still trying to figure out that identity. But I do think there's a part of this team where we just roll out that helmet. We're going to be fine. And those type of mentalities, it's like, oh, do we have is your switch flip? Is it yours or mine? Oh, I thought we had it flipped. Too late. You've lost the game. You know, those type of inconsistent mentalities, those are the ones that exit the playoffs.
Yeah, they've been able to get up for this game before. We'll see if they're able to do that today. Certainly familiarity for Aaron Donald, who sacked Russell Wilson 12 times. That's the most of any quarterback he's played. Still to come on Countdown, game picks are on the way. Will the Steelers snap their 3-game losing streak? Or will Phillip Rivers and the Colts continue their own hot streak in Pittsburgh today? And with the Cowboys and Eagles facing off, the former receiver T.O. joins Peyton Manning to take us through how he created some of the best catchphrases in NFL history.
I ain't if you want to. I ain't if you want to. But I love me.
Who do you think you are? Listen up and stop.
Jeep is more than a legendary SUV brand. It's a community. We share a love of adventure. We share a spirit. And now we're sharing our employee price with you. Treating you like one of our own. Because that's exactly what you are. Employee pricing at the Jeep Big Finish event.
With employee pricing for all, get an average $4,644 below MSRP, plus $1,000 bonus cash on the 2021 Grand Cherokee Limited.
Hey, Jake from State Farm, man. Thanks again for the Rogers rate on my insurance.
Here's the deal. There's no Rogers rate. State Farm just has surprisingly great rates.
Look, I know you don't offer it to just anyone, okay?
We do offer it to anyone. Literally anyone.
Our little secret.
Oh. Yeah. Oops. I can help with that. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next time you carry out 3-topping Domino's pizzas for $7.99 each, try Domino's Carside Delivery. Just check in online and we'll quickly and safely bring out your food so you don't have to get out to get carry out. Like Denny here.
Hey Hamlin, I like your PJs.
Rosberg takes the championship 34 years after his father.
Child arrived just the other day. Came to the world and he knew the way. And he was talking for the new and as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you.
I'm driving.
Zero alcohol.
T-Mobile is upgrading its network at a record pace. We were the first to bring 5G nationwide. And now that Sprint is a part of T-Mobile, we're turning up the speed, upgrading over 1,000 towers a month with ultra-capacity 5G to bring speeds as fast as Wi-Fi to cities and towns across America. And we're adding more every week. Coverage and speed. Who says you can't have it all?
I'm not your grandma. I don't nap every 20 minutes. And I don't drink your grandma's ginger ale. I drink Canada Dry Bold Ginger. With an extra kick of real ginger taste that'd blow the tennis balls off your grandma's walker. New Canada Dry Bold Ginger. Not your grandma's ginger ale.
The last streaming. The day started out as the best day of my life, and then this happened. Critics can't stop talking about Disney and Pixar's Soul. It's the best movie of the year.
It's so good.
Rated PG, now streaming on Disney+.
I saved up some money and then found the home of my dreams. But my home of my dreams needed some work.
So if I was the first lender that even offered a personal loan, and I didn't even know that was an option.
The personal loan let us renovate our single-family house into a multi-unit home.
And I get to live in this beautiful house with this beautiful kitchen. And that's all thanks to SoFi.
Wild card weekend. Touchdown! Energy baby! I can't believe it!
5 days to the college football playoff semifinals, New Year's Day on ESPN.
You're watching Sunday NFL Countdown presented by Snickers.
The other thing you're famous for is being quite the wordsmith.
I love me some meat. Hot dog. Hot dog.
I mean, some Shakespearean phrases. Let's just start with one of my favorites. I love me some me.
Because I love me some me. Believe it.
I was a shy kid. I wasn't as handsome as I am now as back then. And so I had to gain some self-esteem about myself.
I love me some meat.
In order to play well, you have to feel good. And so I had to use that to kind of motivate myself to play on Sundays. And I just came up with it. It was impromptu, like, I love me some me.
I ain't if you want to. I ain't if you want to. But I love me.
And you also like to answer your own questions. Who can make a play? I can.
Absolutely.
Who can make a play? I can. Who can make a play? I can.
I remember I did that in Atlanta. First half, no catches. I'm livid, I'm hot.
All right, be cool now. You be cool. I'm this our team. You be cool.
To go a whole half without no catches, being the player that I was, I just felt like that was unacceptable.
Hey, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
And so once I started to kind of get in the rhythm after halftime, and I started to kind of, make a few plays.
Jeff steps up in the pocket, throws for the end zone. Oh, Carolyn! Oh, what of an answer!
It was like, okay, who can make a play? And before anybody could answer,
I can. Who can make a play? I can.
The always entertaining Terrell Owens is the focus of this week's Peyton Places on ESPN+. You can catch the full episode right now and the rest of the Season 2 episodes on the app. Time now for a final check-in with our insider, Sportin' Adam. What do we need to know before kickoff, guys?
As we know, Jalen Hurts is making another start for the Eagles at AT&T Stadium against the Cowboys. He's a Texas guy. He has some memories at AT&T Stadium. One, I was there, his first game at Alabama. His very first play, he actually fumbled, but he came back to account for 4 touchdowns in that game against Southern California. I'll remind Keyshawn Johnson, it was Alabama 53, USC 6 in that game. And then he finished up with Oklahoma, playing for the Big 12 championship in that stadium, which he led them to an overtime win against the Baylor Bears, whose head coach was Matt Rule, now the Panthers head coach. And Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills is squeezing in on this MVP discussion. And here's the pass. They got the Buffalo Bills' attention when he was at Wyoming in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. This pass to Jared Scott that made Brandon Beane, the GM, jump out of the seat. And he saw it last week at Denver when he threw it to Jake Kumaro, almost the identical pass. Beane mentioned that to me this week, and all I can tell you is that Vic Fangio of the Denver Broncos was talking to himself the whole game last week, Adam.
Well, speaking of Vic Fangio, while some teams are considering head coaching changes, the Broncos are not. Vic Fangio will return in 2021, despite the speculation that he was on the hot seat. He is not. The organization wants to stay stable, wants to keep Fangio in place. It'll be his 3rd year on his contract, and they are keeping him. Vic Fangio will be back in Denver next season. As for a team in his division, the Kansas City Chiefs, we all know that Eric Bieniemy is a prime head coaching candidate. But it turns out that so is the Chiefs quarterbacks coach and passing in coordinator Mike Kafka. And there's a real chance that the Chiefs could lose both assistants, Bieniemy and Kafka, to head coaching opportunities. Everybody knows that Bieniemy is in demand. What is less public is that Kafka also is, and so that's a sign of the staff that Andy Reid has developed, that 2 men are going to be getting the consideration that they are, Bieniemy and Kafka, both at the forefront of a lot of teams' head coaching wish list. More. And Sam?
Yeah, guys, change is coming to that team. Who can count down to kickoff? I can't. No, you can't. Really, it's just me. 23 minutes to go, so let's get your game breaker for Falcons and Chiefs. Randy, what do you got?
Well, everybody's wanting to know about Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the backfield. Well, help is on the way. They got him this offseason or during the season. I'm talking about Le'Veon Bell. Being able to run, we know what he brings to the running game, but can he be a threat coming out of the backfield? For Mr. Mahomes, yes, he can. Being able to make guys miss. And then last but not least, understanding what they want from him in this offense. Just think with the quarterback. There you go. Just get the ball. Man, Le'Veon Bell's going to show up big in this game today.
Guys, we talked about the Titans play action. Don't forget about the Packers play action. This is a team that actually blocks the run on passes. A lot of teams do drop back pass with their O-line, and they use action with their quarterback and running back. Not these guys, and that's why Aaron Rodgers has had such great protection all year long. They don't know if it's a run or a pass. Check this out. Naked bootleg. Check out this offensive line. They're running all the way to the right. They're running up to the sideline. Aaron Rodgers and the receivers, they're running the other way. The Philadelphia Eagles, Teddy, we're laughing at them right now. Linebackers. They don't know what to do. Okay? When you study tape and you're ready for it. Okay, here we go. Look at this hard run action. All the linemen, they're running to the right. They're not even getting upfield. They're just running right. Aaron Rodgers breaking contain. We're all heading left. All heading left, or are we? Check out Tunyon, rhymes with onion. We're throwing it back.
Not fair.
With tons of time, so it's hard to defend that long. Can't forget about two of the best play-action teams today.
The Seattle Seahawks, remembering what it takes to win a championship, getting that power running aspect back. Chris Carson is back with his power running style right here. These type of run. It gets your offense going, defense buys you up. That type of physicality right there. This is what they need to do. Get back to it, all right? No more cooking, a little more simmering, and then a little more grinding. Down on the ground game. That's what it is. And who can be explosive? He can. Carlos Hyde right there. Explosive runs. This is what the Seattle Seahawks got to do to make that championship formula. They're on the way with these two running backs. Go ahead, Flex.
Well, speaking of him, Seahawks running back Carlos Hyde is one of the under-the-radar players who could help you win your fantasy championships today. These projections informed by IBM Watson show us that Hyde is projected to get over 11 points. Andy Dalton has one of the highest ceilings among available QBs, and Michael Pittman could get up to 20 points for the Colts. Still to come on Countdown, game picks are on the way. Rams face the Seahawks today with the division on the line. Why the embarrassing Jets upset will be a wake-up call to Jared Goff today. And one of the best rivalries in sports is renewed, and yes, it still matters. The Cowboys take on the Eagles in a matchup that could decide the NFC East, who our guys think will come out top next.
The only thing we can really focus on is what's in front of us, and that's beating Philadelphia. Nothing else can be accomplished if we don't do that.
At CDW, we get there's no time for downtime. That's why CDW experts partner with APC by Schneider Electric to keep you up and running with a full range of edge computing solutions, including the new lithium-ion Smart Ops UPS with 2 times the battery life and cloud-enabled remote monitoring, so you can deploy data center-like resiliency with the performance and certainty you expect and the ongoing support you need. For IT infrastructure and uptime, you need APC by Schneider Electric and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it.
Smooth driving pays off. With Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you save. You've never been in better hands. Allstate. Quicker call for a quote today.
Wendy's Baconator is the ultimate bacon cheeseburger that's got all other cheeseburgers feeling like. And now with the Breakfast Baconator, we're shaking and waking up your breakfast, bringing that big bacon energy all day long. So get to Wendy's and always be baconating.
The super big 85-inch Samsung QLED TV brings the game home. Sure, a TV this big makes Kid Series look ginormous. QLED TV! Game shows look like an even bigger deal. And medical dramas look larger than life. But the super big Samsung QLED TV is made for football. It's not too late to save on Samsung QLED. Finally home. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Welcome to the final days of Toyotathon. Here for a great deal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the wait is over.
Yes. Toyotathon is on. Get 0% APR financing on a 2020 Camry. Offer ends January 4th. For more great deals, visit Toyota.com.
You can get a great deal too at Toyotathon when it all ends January 4th.
Toyota. Let's go places.
DraftKings is giving out an early holiday gift to celebrate hoops being back. A shot for new customers to play free for millions with their first deposit. Just craft a lineup of players who you think will pocket you some cold, hard cash. With loads of December Millionaire contests, it's never been easier to put the win in winter. So download the app, take your free shot at millions in prizes, and slay the holiday hoops. DraftKings, make it rain.
The playoffs are here, and we're all here for it.
The game has changed.
This is where it's all on the line. This is going to live forever, and anything can happen.
An insane game.
14 teams after it. One network here for it.
A big showdown.
With around-the-clock coverage.
This is going to be unbelievable.
Every round, every week, every minute, until a champion is crowned. NFL Network, here for the playoffs, here for football.
The last stream. Today started out as the best day of my life, and then
hey, what problem you got today?
Stop talking about
I got problem.
It's the best
somebody I got
Disney on Disney Plus.
When you're ready for Chipotle, the Chipotle app is ready for you. Get all your favorites, fast, fresh, and with unlimited customization.
They got my home, 4 touchdowns.
With the Chipotle app, real food is ready.
I might drop it down.
Contactless carry out.
I got Kelsey at least 7 receptions. Big man, 266 passing yards. Jalen Hurts at 50 yards. David Montgomery, a touchdown and struggle to win. And Rodgers 2.5 touchdowns to get rid of the win. Devontae Adams 7.5 receptions. Derrick Henry 22 carries. So far that's 5 and like 20.
Coverage streak. More people and places across.
That's a water. That sounds water, bro. I might have to take off E-Rod and throw over minutes.
Now is the time to just
Because I'm boys playing
Important game for Daniel Jones. Getting ready to go in Baltimore today. His first start back after dealing with an ankle injury last week. Colt Boyd got the start in the loss against the Browns today, trying to keep playoff hopes alive against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. It's time for a final check-in at the NFC East Stadium. Starting in Baltimore, will we find South Antonio?
Hey Sam, last night, Team Hotel, I talked to Judge by phone after he had dinner with the team captain. Judge told me his final talking points to Daniel Jones coming off a significant hamstring injury was this. Just let the game come to you. Execute the offense. His final talking points to the team was this. You've got to play physically.
I don't know if I got too much, though.
Against the Baltimore Ravens in all 3 phases of the game. Stop the run the football, and cover hits. That's how you beat the Ravens. Kimberly?
Thanks, Sal. Ron Rivera told me this morning he'll definitely be scoreboard watching today, and all eyes will be on the Giants-Ravens 1 o'clock game. If the Giants lose, Washington could finish his division title today with a win over Carolina. Now the fear has centered on Dwayne Haskins, who will indeed start today, days after being fined and stripped of his captaincy for a second COVID violation. When I spoke to Haskins yesterday, he told me it would mean everything.
Yeah, not too much. Take off Mahomes.
Possibly miss the playoffs. Now, that at work.
He threw for me so mad, and I was like,
Kimberly, Eagles rookie quarterback Jalen Hurts is the first player in NFL history with 500 yards passing and 150 rushing in his first 2 career starts. But I'm told that Doug Anderson and his coaching staff discussed a short list of areas where they want improvement today against the Cowboys. While describing him as dynamic, productive, and exciting, the coaches want Hurts to improve his footwork.
I got Kelsey.
Pass decisions
Kelsey
and run the
7-7.
play before improvising in end-of-game situations, and of course, protect the ball against the Cowboys team that's created 7 turnovers and scored 48 points on takeaways the last 2 weeks.
7.5. Derrick Henry 22 carries.
Yeah, one of the little bright spots.
At least 7 receptions in case he won. Damn, I can't. That's gay. Oh no, I need to take off one. That's good. I got too much. I think I'm gonna just put Ridley because I put Ridley receptions and Casey to win. So I guess
man, don't do that. You can't put the champion. The champion doesn't lose his.
I think Randy should be on top.
I feel
I might do it.
First place, I can take that one.
Okay, I'm just sick of hearing this guy talk. Let's get to some NFC East games. I'm just going to make this one easy. Is anybody on the Giants? Or is everybody on the Raiders? Are we all in agreement on the Raiders?
Yeah,
okay. I feel good about that. So let's move on to the Eagles and the Cowboys.
There's been a lot of talk about Jalen Hurts rightfully so because I do believe in what he has done for the one guy in particular, I like what he has done offensively. I'm talking about running back Miles Sanders. He is definitely happy that a guy like Jalen Hurts is at the quarterback position. In the last couple of weeks, you're talking about his performance, being able to have big runs in crucial situations, just like his quarterback, going against that Dallas Cowboy defense where they have a
I had a feeling where they go off of it. I don't know why.
Sanders will get up on the third tier back there with the safety and the quarterback, making guys miss. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles a lot.
He's going to go off, and I think I like Juju today too. I think Juju going to play his face.
For what he said.
Slow and steady is what I like this time of year, fellas. I'm going to agree with you with them Eagles. Jalen Hurts doesn't give those Cowboys a chance. They desperately use the score.
Because those niggas are really throw the ball at the 1 yard line.
The game picks because I keep
him getting forward is
I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Pollard is showing me something. He's got an opportunity. He could grab it, okay? And then I think Andy Dallas did a nice job. Steadying the ship. They're undefeated if he doesn't turn the ball over, protect it, but he's still aggressive enough to get something done with weapons. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point, but I'll take that.
She's hurting, Matt. Leave her. Leave her alone. I am going to go with the Eagles mostly because of the poise that Jalen Hurts is playing with right now. We talked about the familiarity in the stadium. I just think he keeps it rolling for the Eagles, although I am concerned with Fletcher Cox being questionable. Let's get to the Panthers and Washington. This one, a home game for Washington. Dwayne Haskins gets the start. Who are you going to take?
I think there's just too much on a young rookie quarterback's shoulders with everything that he has to worry about off the field. Dwayne Haskins going into a game like this where Coach Ron Rivera wants to get back at his old team. I think the Carolina Panthers, Eddie Two Gloves, come and show up, baby. Go with the Carolina Panthers.
Randy and I talk about it all the time. Randy loves Eddie Two Gloves and all that. And I'm starting to become a fan of his as well. So I hate the fact, that pass rush is going to be breathing down his neck. But I do believe in the Panthers, and I think they get the win for their coach.
Dwayne Haskins cannot lead a football team to victory, but that defense can. I'll tell you that. The Washington football team, I'm going to pick the Washington football team, and if I could get in Dwayne Haskins' ear, I'd say use J.D. McKissick. Right? Use McKissick in terms of his checkdowns. He had a career high last week in scrimmage yards with over 107, 9 receptions. This is someone that's nice and easy out of the backfield. Either hand it off to him or just hit him on the quick little outlets, just like Alex Smith was doing right there to help you out a little bit so you can not just take care of the football. I'm going with the Washington football team.
Yeah, I'm disagreeing. I like Carolina in this game. A ton of respect for Washington's defense. Their D-line is really impressive. You can see the respect that people have for them when they throw in running situations. But I think Carolina's building something special. And Teddy has been playing good football, minus a couple turnovers that he can get fixed. I'll take Carolina.
Yeah, I picked Washington until I heard the confirmed news that Dwayne Haskins is going to be the quarterback. I just don't trust this guy. Any guy that, for one, parties after a loss. I don't know what that's about. In a pandemic with all the issues around, that's concerning. I hope for his sake he plays well for his second shot on whatever other team it's going to be. But I think the Panthers get the win today in Washington. Let's get to the NFC West. Rams and Seahawks. Huge one for both teams.
I think that Russell Wilson and Seattle Seahawks has too much pride to let another game get away from the first game. 6 sacks against the Seattle Seahawks. They're at home this week. I think that DK Metcalf will show up. He didn't show up last game, but I think he's going to show up this game. Go with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I just look at this and how can you take the Rams after they get beat by the Jets? I'm going to tell you how. This team is built. They built this team to beat the Seattle Seahawks.
And there's a guy named Leonard Floyd who is an outstanding, underrated pass rusher. The last time these two teams met, 3 sacks in the game. I think Leonard Floyd makes a difference in this one again. Give me the LA Rams.
He's not going to get the chance. They're going to run it right at Leonard Floyd. That's how they're going to get the run game going. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. They're turning it around and establishing their tough guy mentality of running the football at the right time.
I completely agree with you, Teddy. And Rex, you know you can't get a sack on a running play, and that's going to be the formula.
Forgot about that.
I'll take Seattle. I think they recommit to running the football the way they do in the past, and I believe we'll see a better version of Wilson because of that.
Yeah, I think this game is going to be close like we've seen in the past, but I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks, and I haven't said this all season. I'm taking them because of their defense. I think the defense gets it done every day. Yeah, we'll see. You're on your way down.
Adams gets the
Let's
double
get to the
digit.
Colts and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. What do you think, Grady?
Well, I think with all the injuries, offensively that Indianapolis have up front, protecting a guy like Phillip Rivers, I believe in Frank Wright. I like him as a coach. He stays below the radar. But that Pro Bowl snub, DeForest Buckner, you didn't get him in the Pro Bowl? You talk about a chip on his shoulder going on the road. I said if you want to fight, come on outside the Indianapolis Colts or going to Pittsburgh Steelers. They're going on the road, but I'm going with Frank Wright and them Colts.
Randy, you mentioned those two starting offensive tackles out for Indianapolis. That's not a good thing heading into Pittsburgh with Watt and company out there. Vince Williams coming back. I think we might have a tape on him later, maybe not, but either way, Vince Williams comes back. I think he slows that running game down of Indianapolis. And you know what? You talked about Frank Wright. Yes, he's a great coach, but so was Mike Tomlin. I'm going with my guy, Mike Tomlin. Pittsburgh, let's go.
Steelers been my team this year. They've been my team, but it's just like they're just stumbling to the finish line. And I see this Indianapolis Colts team. This is going to be a close game, a tight game. And just like I showed earlier in the show, you're going to have to make big plays when the game's on the line. Blackman, Houston,
I don't know when it's coming, but
guys,
it's going to happen.
one play at the end. Fourth quarter, inside 2 minutes. They'll make it Colts.
Okay, because they're clutch. And I'll tell you what else was clutch. Last week, the Cincinnati Bengals ran for 152 yards on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I look at the Colts and I say, hey, this is a much better rushing team than Cincinnati was. And they have Jonathan Taylor. He's running a little bit slow. He's coming on. You see why they drafted him so high out of Wisconsin. And I know this, when you play backup tackles, you're worried about their pass protection. You're not worried about their run blocking. So you can call more runs. I think that'll help out the Colts. I'll take the Colts today. And again, I think possibly the game of the day. This is a great game.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this one. I will say I'm concerned about the 2 tackles being out, but for the reason you just explained, they've got a better run game and I think a better defense. I think the Colts win yet another road game. They've won 4 straight on the road so far. And you can make your game picks at home with Monday Night Pick'em on the ESPN Fantasy app right now. Plus, you can watch all the highlights from those games we're talking about with Boomer on NFL Primetime, 7:30 Eastern, only on ESPN Plus. Countdown rolls on from the Seaport District right after this. Game Picks is brought to you by T-Mobile. 5G coverage in all 50 states. T-Mobile keeps you in the game with Monday Night Pickup on the ESPN Fantasy app. T-Mobile.
Most of the time, yeah, but sometimes that should be lame, bro, because you got bro, if they play a sorry ass team, don't take it.
So how is it?
That shit happened to me with KD. First game, game was over first half. He played the rest. He played half of the third quarter.
Online, you can stream thousands of movies for free and access to Epix Now for 30 days. Make your comedies extra cheesy, or make family movie night a double crowd pleaser. Upgrade your movie night with any online order from Domino's.
Hi.
Happy anniversary.
For what?
Every year you're with us, you get $50 toward your home deductible. It's a policy perk for being a Farmer's customer.
Do I have to do anything?
Nothing.
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 Nothing?
Nothing.
Well, that really is something.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmer's policy perks. See you.
May I have a balloon too?
Sure. Your parents have maintained a Farmer's home policy for 12 consecutive months, right?
We are farmers.
Start with a quote at 1-800-FARMERS.
He's got the ball. Looking downfield. He's going to have to hit with a tiny strike. Look at him tiptoe free. Oh, what a spin move. This kid is already being
most passing yards, most in
soup that eats like a meal.
Number Sean Watson. 3,400. Most passing yards, first PM game. 1 PM game. You got Mahomes at minus 118. Deshaun at plus 559.
Like your way home. Exceptional offers will play.
They got Ben Roethlisberger plus 725. They got Lamar at plus 34.
Select models through December 31st.
You got Mitch at 60 plus 1689. Plus 1060.
And the coach, my offense is nowhere without a solid.
I look like Big Ben though, bro. That coach can
I
probably
need the speed
might take the
of a
shot.
running back and the security of alignment. A hybrid cloud approach with IBM gets you visibility so you can manage data and apps, whatever plays come your way. Here, coach. When security meets agility, you're unstoppable. Bring it in, guys. Bring it in. Bring it in. 1, 2, 3.
Did I break a hole, right? I'm talking long.
And with Lamar plus 3,400,
Protect your
that's
own like sweatpants.
Right there, man. You're going to be much longer.
This is wild. Bennett.
Go to the ESPN Fantasy app now and pick the winner of Monday's game with Monday Night Pick'em, presented by T-Mobile. With 5G coverage in all 50 states, T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network.
In the time it takes to brew a cup, we'll tell you why Green Mountain Coffee Roasters Nantucket Blend is so smooth. Let's go to one of the places the coffee comes from, Honduras. This is Mario and his wife Shayla. Mario grows coffee that helps make Nantucket Blend taste phenomenal. So we support his recycling of nutrient-rich water to help make his soil rich, his coffee delicious, and his land stunningly beautiful. It's the second most stunning thing in his life. Number 1 being Shayla. All for a smoother tasting cup. Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, packed with goodness. Now, when you order Domino's online, you can stream thousands of movies for free with access to Epix Now for 30 days. Make your comedies extra cheesy, or make family movie night a double crowd pleaser. Upgrade your movie night with any online order from Domino's.
Come on in. Fargo. Stream the entire fourth installment now on FX.
Hasn't been enough, really.
That's a serious question.
Fargo.
It's
now streaming.
plus 559.
Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now.
I'm the Patriots. Monday Night Football.
Yes, sir. That's our team.
And ABC.
Sunday NFL Countdown is presented by Snickers. Snickers satisfies. And in part by Heineken. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
I know the holiday's technically over, but we have to say goodbye with St. Moss. Goodbye.
Celtics-Lakers, best of enemies. Chronicles the rivalry of the Celtics and the Lakers, the most iconic franchises in NBA history. They both came to prominence in the 60s, and then Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came on the scene, and it raised everybody's anticipation. And then they meet in the 80s, and they have these iconic finals. So it felt like the Celtics and the Lakers were always on the verge of playing for history. It was kind of like a soap opera. You got caught up in it.
It's a matchup that everyone has waited for. The classic showdown. The Celtics and the Lakers. Bird against Magic.
My whole mission with beating Larry and the Celtics. His whole mission was to beat Magic and the Lakers. I don't want Larry Bird to hold nothing over me. We were not going to lose to them damn Lakers. We had no respect for them. None.
Bird backed up Michael Cooper into the photographer's lane.
You just hate their cockiness. You just hate it. Boston.
Magic underneath slam dunk. McHale and Magic going at it. McHale and Magic going at it.
Lakers Celtics. Man, that takes me back. This is your boy Ice Cube. And I grew up in LA in the 80s. When only 3 things mattered. Being the nicest on the mic, having $1 in your pocket, and beating the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals.
Bird clears out Larry. Gets the ball quickly over to Magic.
still get goosebumps. This is Donnie Wahlberg. I grew up in Boston in the 80s. Here's what I know. Larry Bird was the best basketball player the good Lord ever created. The reason he created him was to crush the LA Lakers.
Bird takes the shot. Gets right. Larry Bird gets the gap.
You're starting to hear about this leprechaun, all this crap.
Magic coming down with Worthy to his left. It goes to Worthy all the way. Slams up. Basket count.
The Celtics call us chokers, and call us fakers, and call us sissies.
Magic. Larry's gonna kill you. Larry's gonna kill you. Oh, look at here. McAdoo and McHale just fighting. The yellow Scotland why they do things here.
Battles that we had, that's where all the flopping started.
He's hammered. Look out. That's a lousy, rotten play.
I don't think Kevin hit him enough.
Kareem now yelling at Larry Bird.
Kareem still barking. Wait, boy. I'll kick your ass.
It's all over. And we've got a sea of humanity out there.
The one thing I hate in life is the Boston Celtics.
When I was a kid, there was nothing better than sneaking into the old Boston Garden. I may have failed history 4 times in high school, but I aced Celtic history. The first lesson I learned is that the most important Celtic of all time never scored a point.
Basketball is the most popular sport in America today.
Yep, that was Red Auerbach. The opinionated, cocky, some would say obnoxious coach of the Celtics back in the 50s. His early teams had great offensive players like Bob Cousy, but they could never win a title. What Red needed was defensive rebounding. In 1956, Red saw the answer to his problems.
Bill Russell, 6'10" center of the San Francisco Giants, biggest leader on the collegiate basketball circuit.
Bill Russell led the University of San Francisco to 2 straight national championships. But if you thought he'd be the consensus #1 pick in the NBA draft, you'd be wrong.
There's this whole core of black players in that era that are basically told, you're a servant player or a role player. Go get the ball for the other guys.
There were no black stars in the NBA. It had been an all-white league until 1950. But Red couldn't have cared less. Russell was his man. His only problem getting him was the Celtics were drafting 9th. So Red went to win. The first pick was held by the Rochester Royals, a team that was barely in business. Red said in some of the ice capades, they didn't take Russell at #1. Rochester got their ice show. The second pick was held by St. Louis. And let's just say Russell wasn't an easy fit while Jim Crow was still in town. The Celtics had a center named Ed McCauley, and he was white. Soon, Easy Ed was a hawk, and Red had his man.
My first game, one of the guys on the other team takes a shot and I blocked him. And the referee called goaltending. Red got up and went nuts. He ran and raved so much that they called technical foul. First time I had a coach that went to bat for me.
Russell would just kind of thank Red. Before you knew it, the Celtics were shaking up the league.
Styles of play have changed too, making for a more aggressive, crowd-pleasing brand of ball. The key to this new style of play is the fast break.
The Celtics' fast break was killer. They started running teams off the Garden's parquet floor, and the champagne started to flow.
The Celtics are the world champions.
Red and Russell's Celtics won titles in 4 of their first 5 years. In 1962, the next victim of the Celtics in the finals was a new and unknown opponent, the Los Angeles Lakers.
Time out for a real history lesson. Now, the Celtics were trying to call themselves the NBA's greatest dynasty. Wrong. The NBA's first great dynasty was the Lakers, the Minneapolis Lakers. They won 5 titles before the Celtics had any. They even had the NBA's greatest big man, George Mikan. The problem was, once Mikan stopped playing, the fans stopped coming. So they moved the team to LA. I would have did the same thing. It seemed like a good move. Just 3 years earlier, the Brooklyn Dodgers had moved to Los Angeles and was the hottest thing on the West Coast.
The Dodgers flew into Los Angeles, greeted by 10,000 fans. We, the Lakers, drove in by midnight. No one knew who the hell we were, and no one cared. What the hell was a Laker?
Anything to attract a crowd. They used to put us in the back of a van, like almost a hay wagon. We'd go around neighborhoods, and players would be in the back of the van, come out and see the Lakers play, come out and see the Lakers play. I say to myself, why people don't come out? The Rams were drawing 100,000 people. The Dodgers were playing in the Coliseum, and they were drawing 80, 90,000 people.
We drew maybe 3,000 on a good night. We didn't even have radio broadcasts the first year that we were here. So we had to start from scratch.
Well, not totally from scratch. We did have two of the game's best players, Jerry West and Elgin Baylor.
Elgin was MJ before MJ. I mean, Elgin had more movies than anybody, and Elgin could light it up and did things that nobody else was doing.
Jerry was a great all-around player and one of the greatest sharpshooters that we've ever seen. He was Mr. Clutch.
In LA, if nobody knew who you were, that's who you were, a nobody. Well, these nobodies made the playoffs. And in the Western Finals against St. Louis, the Hollywood guys sent them Chick Hearn, play-by-play man, hype man, and Pied Piper, all rolled into one.
They hired Chick Hearn for games 3 and 4 in St. Louis, and just broadcasting it on the air, and Chick, being the great announcer he was, when they came back to the sports arena, they threw 14,000.
Mr. Clutch with 8 in the timer. West with 4, 3. He's shooting 20-foot jumper.
Chick helped turn Jerry West and Elgin Baylor into stars. And that's what the Lakers needed to make it in LA.
This is the Mar Vista Playground in West Los Angeles, California. Working out with the youngsters is Jerry West, Los Angeles Lakers red-hot sharpshooter from West Virginia. Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Hello, Don. Now we were selling out, and Hollywood celebrities like Doris Day were coming out to the games. In LA, that's a big deal.
The greatest crowds in history gathered in Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena to see the season's most exciting team, Western Division champion Los Angeles Lakers. They fought to unseat the defending world champion Boston Celtics.
So now, for the first time, the Los Angeles Lakers against the Boston Celtics. It was the 1962 finals. By this time, the Celtics had already won 4 championships, and not many people gave us a chance.
Watch West. He taps it away. Tries to beat the clock. Beats the Lakers.
But our new stars looked like more than Boston could handle. Mr. Clutch iced Game 3, and Elgin hung a playoff record 61 on Russell in Game 5. It all came down to Game 7 in Boston Garden. With less than a minute to go, Boston was up by 2 with the ball. Take it away, Chick.
30 seconds left. Over to Ramsey, intercepted by West. West on a breakaway. He'll try to go all the way. He does. Shot no good. The rebound is Selby. Under the shot. Good! Lakers tie it up. It's 100 to 100. 20 seconds left.
The Celtics could have held for the last shot, but they panicked when we got the ball back with 5 seconds left. One basket. But we'd be the NBA champions.
5 seconds. Huntley to Selby. Discovery on the way. So good. Rebound Russell. Overtime.
Can you believe they didn't get the ball to West or Baylor? Next thing you know, our man Kuzie's dribbling out the clock. We're champions again.
The Boston Celtics are once again the world champions.
Bill Russell, 30 points and 40. I repeat, 40 rebounds.
Not a bad stat line, though. 30 and 40. It seemed like nothing was beyond Russell's reach. But that went beyond the basketball.
People calling me saying that they were going to kill me, saying they were going to blow my home up, and saying that I only had a few hours to live.
15 minutes past midnight, Everett got out of his car beside his home in a Negro residential area. A sniper fired a single shot. He died within an hour at a Jackson hospital. In the Negro community, the mood is anger and a desire for revenge.
I remember sitting at the kitchen table,
And everybody's believing about Medgar Evers and thinking that this country is hopelessly racist. And here was Bill Russell in Mississippi.
Mr. Russell, what brings you to Mississippi?
It is something that I feel I have to do. It's part of my life. It's part of me.
A person like Russell was in a tough position. Great athlete, unbelievable competitor, very intelligent. Now, if you're really that intelligent, you're not going to figure out something is wrong in your country.
Do you think your presence here will help alleviate the trouble?
I'm hoping. I'm not hoping to make things worse.
I knew he wasn't a touchy-feely character. He wasn't like old Uncle Remus. Like, you looked at him like that, but he was not to be played with.
Do you think that you will get some white kids to play basketball with Negro kids?
I think so. I don't see why not. My kids play with white kids, and nobody got hurt yet.
You knew there was something around him that was for real. You knew he was a dangerous man.
Are you saying then that there are white people who will never accept Negro people? Is that what you mean?
Sure, there are Negro people that will never accept white people.
Dangerous? Yeah. Especially to a lot of coaches who just wanted their guys to shut up and play. But not Red.
When it comes to my activities in civil rights, the only time we ever talked about it was one time he was talking to me about when he first went to Boston. And there was a local college kid, an older person named Bob Cousy. And Red did not draft Cousy. He told me, one of the writers said to him, you know, you've insulted everybody in New England by not taking Bob Cousy. We're going to run you out of town. And besides that, you're a Jew. We don't like Jews either. And I said, wow, how'd you handle that? He says, oh, I just outlived the bastards.
That's right. And they not only outlived the bastards, they wiped the parquet floor. When we beat the Lakers in '62, it was 5 titles in 6 years. Pretty amazing, right? Want to hear the really amazing thing? We were just getting started.
And there they go. They won it again.
5, 6, 7 in a row. Whatever, whenever, whoever it took to make it happen.
Greer's putting the ball in play. He gets it out deep.
Havlicek steals it. Over the stand goal. Havlicek stole the ball.
And by the way, that beautiful, velvety, impartial voice describing the action, Celtic announcer Johnny Most was the ultimate home, and he provided the soundtrack to the growing Celtic legend. You'll be hearing a lot from Johnny.
Bill Russell wants to clap Havlicek. He hucks him.
When it came to rubbing salt in the wound, Johnny Most had nothing on Red.
As the game wore down and Auerbach was beating you, he lit up a cigar on the bench. I mean, it kind of like defies belief.
The time finally comes for Red Auerbach to light his victory cigar.
I wanted to come over and stuff it up his nose.
Auerbach is lighting up the cigar.
It's the all-time, in-your-face. It's the beginning of trash talking, as we know it now. Red started it.
By '66, we won 9 overall, 8 straight. We were making history. Then we made an even better kind of history.
And there he is, the new coach of the Celtics, the best team.
As the first Negro coach of a major league sport, can you do the job impartially without any racial prejudice to reverse?
Yes.
How?
Because the most important factor is respect. In basketball, respect the man for his ability, period.
Red had done it again. He was the first to draft a black player, the first to start 5 black players, and now he made Bill Russell the first black coach in modern American sports.
In the middle of the 60s, of all the turmoil and the transitions going on in America with civil rights, a white authority figure cedes power, to a black man. It's quite extraordinary.
Just because you had to like what the Celtics didn't mean you had to like the Celtics. Boston beat us every year. You saw what happened in '62. We also lost during '63.
West all alone. Look at Russell come down. And what a play by Russell.
In '65,
we lost again. In 66, we lost in Game 7 by 2 points.
Felt we were the better team, but it didn't prove to be that way. And it's awful galling for the players and I think for our management to accept the fact that we did get beat.
In 68, we played them again. And guess what? We lost again. That makes it 5 times now.
You were tormented. Sometimes you just wanted to scream, I hate those guys.
In the 1960s, I mean, West was Sisyphus. He just pushed that rock up the hill all the time against the Celtics, got near the top, and that rock just tumbled back down, and that rock was always green, and that rock was the Boston Celtics.
But that was all about to change in 1969.
With guys like Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, I feel very, very happy that I am being traded to a team that I believe may stand a chance to go down the record as one of the best teams in basketball ever.
That's right, Will Chamberlain. And in our new arena, the fabulous Form, he would be the difference. And if Russell had been the difference in all those close losses, we just got the only man who beat him in the 1960s.
Will Chamberlain was the most dominant offensive player in the history of the NBA. He scored 100 points in a single game. He averaged 50 points in a season. Finally, we've got the guy to match Bill Russell.
1969 was Russell's last season. He was ancient by now. The Celtics had finished in 4th place in the East, but somehow limped their way back into the finals. He was waiting, licking our chops.
69. We were better than that. Period. We were better.
You damn right we was better. We won the first 2 games in LA. They got lucky as usual and somehow managed to push the series to the 7th game.
Now to Sam Johnson. He's
Can't help but wonder, how do you feel about going into another 7th game, this time on somebody else's floor?
We've done it before.
How cocky was Russell? Sorry, Bill. This was our year.
Jack Kent Cooke, the owner of the Lakers at that time, is so confident that they're going to win that he has all these balloons brought in and puts them up in the rafters covered by netting.
Sam Jones goes up and shoots early. He comes back in, he runs back in. They pointed out to me that they had balloons up in the air. They're ready to release them when they win the championship. So Russell starts laughing. I guess those balloons will have to stay up there.
So what happened? The old men came out running and started kicking their asses all up and down the court. At the end of the 3rd quarter, we had a 15-point lead. Going down the stretch, we got tired and started holding on for dear life.
And the Celtics sense trouble.
And now, try to imagine what happened next between Wilt and Lakers coach Butch Van Bredekoff. Ever happened between Russell and Red.
5:55 to go, and Chamberlain hurt his leg on the play.
Comes down to the last few minutes. Chamberlain has to come out of the game. And Van Bredekoff is furious. That big SOB, how can he come out of the game?
And now Will Chamberlain comes over to the bench.
We kept sitting and looking like this. And looking. When is he coming back?
Will got himself together and was ready to go back in, deliver us a title, and be the hero.
Wolf's sitting there and he stretched his long leg out and put the ice on his neck again. And he says to me, "Tell the man I'm ready to go back in the game." Then Bredekoff, in all of his hysteria and his madness, just tell him we don't need him. And never put Chamberlain back in the game.
So Butch Van Bredekoff kept the most dominant force in NBA history on the bench as time ticked away. Thanks, Butch.
Lakers within 1 point, 103 to 102.
You can probably guess what happened next.
Knocked away, but Nelson gets it. Don Nelson.
He could shoot that shot 100 times, that ball would never go in. It would never go in.
Don Nelson. Luckiest shot ever.
And the Celtics, they have done it again. A spectacular finish.
6 times we played Los Angeles in the finals. 6 times we beat them. If it was the end of an era, it was the perfect ending.
Jack. Chris, I'm here with Bill Russell. Bill, this must have been a great win for you.
Zach.
I know it's hard to say what's in your mind right now, Bill, and it must have been a great win.
Well, this is such a great bunch of guys, you know, and it's just been so fabulous the way they played for me, and it sounds all corny, you know, start talking like that, but I told these guys before the game, I don't care what happens, I would trade you guys for any guys in the world.
For 3 weeks, I didn't want anything to do with anyone. I didn't want to talk about basketball. I didn't want to do it. I said, I can't do this anymore. But I can't. It was like the lowest point in my life.
And Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Colonel Snowman melted, bringing us this delicious piping hot meal with all the fixins.
Why did it have to be so piping hot?
At 1-800-CONTACTS, we're here for people like Mike, who knows more about bikes than contacts. Rest easy, Mike. Our award-winning customer service is ready to lend a hand. Order now and save 20% on your first purchase. And don't forget to use your Flex Spending account or Vision Insurance benefits before they expire.
This is big. This year, we're giving away more tuition money than ever. And when you buy Dr. Pepper, we add even more money to the pile. So when you sip this, you send Sarah here to stay USC studying space stuff. And every bone you spend helps her become an archaeologist. We're finding more ways to send more students more money so they can get more degrees and crush more life goals. Now put that in your glass and drink it. Learn more at drpepper.com.
Rated T for Teen. Once Chuck Norris destroyed 3 enemies with his finger simply by saying,
Play World of Tanks on PC now. Get your Tier Pro Tank Destroyer for free.
Still For some of us, our daily journey is a short one. Save 50% when you pay per mile with Allstate. Pay less when you drive less. You've never been in better hands. Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
The moment Proactive started working, I felt relieved,
hopeful,
empowered,
good vibes.
Get that clear skin feeling with our 3 skincare systems. All with clinically proven ingredients to clear skin and dermatologist